All right, citizens one and all, welcome back to more Wurm Online here. We were back with my main character out in the middle of Melody, pretty far out, hanging out with this group I joined up with. They're working on a big thing over there, but I like to have my little area over here. But today we're going to talk about player skills, specifically archaeology, and what comes with that, which is restoration. So far, I've probably had the most fun playing with archaeology. So, archaeology involves the finding of artifacts, and then restoration involves the restoring of those artifacts, like discovering what pieces they are and making those pieces into something usable. Archaeology I find the most intriguing because a lot of that stuff can be worth quite a bit of money down the line, especially if you know the value. There's a lot of in-game rare metals, etc. So the basic concept of archaeology is you need a trowel, a stone chisel, and a metal brush. So with the trowel, it is as simple as right-clicking the ground and clicking investigate. There are ways to keybind that as well, which we will cover at a later date. So we let the avatar go through the investigation period here. It looks like we did get lucky there. We picked out a fragment. Now, once you get past a certain level, you can also use a shovel. And when you use a shovel, it's a little harder, but you'll be able to pull out fragments that are already identified. But at that point, then you'll switch to the stone chisel. And I like to just right-click and identify all of them at once. So that's going to happen. We'll let the skills play out. So doing these skills is going to level body, restoration, archaeology, the chisel itself. So we'll do this a few times to see if we get lucky with anything, and if not, we'll go ahead and change to the brush, and we'll try this on the second phase of unidentified fragment. And sometimes you'll get these unidentified metal fragments, or there's many types of unidentified fragments. So you'll use the chisel, and it might give you a specific. Then you'll use the brush to get this broken down further to see exactly what you get. And we did get one there. We got a lump fragment, one of 3. But the reason I like archaeology is it does level relatively quickly. It's just time consuming in the sense that you have to go out, you touch all these different squares to find things, etc. So it'll definitely take quite a while. But as you can see there, we got 1 lump fragment. And while we try a few more times, we'll come over here, and we got an inspiration moment once, and we got a rare pottery fragment. But we will look and see. As you can see, I've been messing with this a lot. And we got another lump fragment. So we have a tin one and a copper one. So that's cool. So we have 2 tin, 3 copper, and 1 lead. And that, in essence, is the basics of archaeology. We will do a part 2 that talks about further finding a fragment and the point of said fragment. But initially, I would say until level 50-ish, you're going to just be searching the ground with your shovel or your trowel and finding fragments that you'll then come back and break down further into artifact pieces that you'll then eventually be able to combine. And there's there's statues, there's rare metals, there's just generalized use things, there's chances for those items to gain a rune capability. So it's a really neat skill. It's really fun, very time consuming, similar to fishing, but overall I think it's one of my favorites so far. It definitely feels the most rewarding. But we all know how I like to find those rare things and just kind of focus on that. So that, in a nutshell, is the basics of archaeology within Wurm. Do tune in. We're going to do probably 2 more parts on archaeology as I move the skill along and as we have things to identify, etc. But until next time, y'all, make sure to like, subscribe, share with your buddies, and I hope to see you in Wurm Online. Good night.